Obviously, we just showed what we could do when we play together, and we have some people out there that's going to fight. So we're going to make some adjustments and changes, but again, we're the same story this week as well. You fight back, but then you're still not winning the game. And, we had some bright spots, but kudos to Minnesota. They have a lot of good shooters, playmakers, people that can create their own shots. We did even up the boards somewhat, but that first half, they had 17 offensive rebounds, and you can't give up those many offensive rebounds and expect to have any success. But we did fight back. I'm proud of our group. We didn't turn the ball over. Maybe one or two that we wish we had back, but we're gonna keep grinding. We'll get it. And that last group is the one I'm most interested in. So we're gonna see what that looks like.
The first half, Bantam gets 2 points, which would seem like a good thing, and yet you're down 12.
Yeah. Well, they have other players. She's not the only one over there that can shoot. Obviously, they rely on her a whole bunch, and she does for her team what she needs to do. By evidence of the second half, she's not gonna hang her head. She's gonna keep playing, and she can create her own shot. She can pull up. She can hit a three. She can go both ways. For the most part, she's a very savvy player, hard to guard. So it's a load. But we did a good job on her in the first half, and then we kind of let her get going in the second half. But good players they're gonna find a way to get going, and she's an All-American type player.
Tessa, you definitely looked more aggressive tonight, even when your shots were falling. It was like you're catching the ball with intent to go to the rim, maybe more than distribute. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Well, what worked for us tonight was attacking them and kicking. So I guess, when my shots don't go in, that's not my main focus. But you can always do something else. That's what Coach Bobby always says. There's always other things you can do. And, yeah, they weren't falling tonight, but Nicole hit, other people hit. And I was just trying to focus on my defense tonight. And then the shots will hopefully fall. Just keep working on them. So.
Tessa did go to the board. She had 5 offensive rebounds. So to her point, you can do something else. And some people are stuck on one thing. And so until they figure it out, and we'll keep helping them, there's more you can do out there besides scoring. And if you want to score, work on your shot. Work on it. We don't tell anybody they can't score. We just take the shot you can make.
Nicole, 7 out of 8 from 3. Was there something you found? You just get in a groove. The game kind of got back and forth a lot. Just the nature of the game help you?
Obviously we're down by a lot, so I was feeling it. So when I was open, I shot it. My teammates did a good job of getting me the ball at the end. When I was open, like Tessa said, we were penetrating and kicking and getting nice little dishes. But like Coach Bobby said, we just have to play hard the whole game. You have to put a group in there that wants to work and wants to play hard.
Tessa and Nicole, can you guys just speak to how difficult it is to have to guard and spend so much energy guarding Bantam and Wagner on one end, and then come back and try to use some of that energy left to score buckets on offense?
They're great players, but we both like to play defense, so it comes with the territory, I guess. We don't think too much about how difficult it is. We like the challenge, and I think that speaks a lot to kind of who we are as players. But, I don't know what you have to say, but I think that's something that we don't really focus too much on.
Yeah.
And they're competitive. See, when you're competitive, you're thinking, I'm just as good as you. You're not thinking, oh, my God, what are you going to do? Well, you're going to have to guard me, too. You got to have an attitude out here and a hunger to get somebody in attack mode. You got to be in attack mode all the time, whether it be on the offensive end or the defensive end. And you got to think, they have to guard me, too. That's my attitude. I'm not worried about so much what you're doing. You're going to worry about what I'm doing as well. And that's what they do. And I'm sure you could see that on the court. They don't back down from anybody. Tessa thinks she can guard the 6'5" kid out there. But she thinks she can. The little fable, I think I can. Then if you think it, you will. And if you think you can't, you right as well. You correct. You can't. So you have to get your mindset in a position where you feel like I can do anything asked of me out here, whether it be scoring, defense, whatever my team needs, I'm going to do it.
Coach, Minnesota has a very tall front court, but you chose to play small most of the night, seldom playing Michaela and Avi together. Why'd you make that decision, and what kind of advantages did going small provide you guys?
Oh, well, it wasn't a plan. We just figured we needed some energy. Shelly gives us a lot of energy. You saw what, I mean, she gets her little head down and gets in there. And, you know, she did finish at the rim tonight. She did hit a 3. She did play great defense. And, you know, sometimes the matchup doesn't bode well to go small because then they throw it inside and they got the big girls in there to shoot it. But for this team, their posts are not really their main go-to players, so you can kind of get away with it a little bit. But I like the fight in this last group. I really did. And I wasn't surprised, but when you see it, and as much as we were down, for them to come back and not give up and keep playing and keep fighting, you know, I just didn't want this good crowd to go to waste and watch us embarrass ourselves. And this last group, we only lost the game by, what, 7? Is it 7 points? And the first 3 quarters, we could have made that up with a box out here, a free throw there, a transition stop. So it's just a hard lesson to learn when you're losing, but we have to learn it quick. And maybe this last group will infuse a little energy into what we want to do.
There's more fast-paced teams in this conference than there were even just a few years ago. Does that put extra pressure? You have to score. It seems like the nature of the conference is shifting a little bit.
I've not been there as long as probably you've been writing, Dennis, but it's gotten more aggressive with, obviously, with Maryland and Rutgers coming in. It's a lot. I mean, those 2 teams, obviously, they get up and down. That's good for the Big Ten. I think it's good because we have a reputation maybe for not being fast and athletic. And when you play those SEC and ACC and Big 12 and, you know, Pac-12 schools, then it's a little bit different. So we need that. And recruits see that, hey, this is not a conference where people can say, oh, they just slow, they're big and slow. Well, you can't say that anymore. And that's the reputation. We don't want to have that. It's nothing wrong with big girls, but you got to have some folks that can run the floor. And Avi, one play, she ran the floor and caused us to get a 3, just running the floor. So sometimes you're not going to get it, but it makes, and they did it to us. I think when their bigs ran the floor, we had to get in and it caused them to get a 3. So people just have to see the benefit in getting up and down the floor and be accepting of getting in that kind of condition. To run fast, you got to run fast. Can't run slow and then run fast in the game. It's not going to happen. So the more they practice that and get in their mind, I'm going to run whether I get it or not, that will open up these guys for 3s.
Coach, you mentioned Avi. How do you think she played tonight? She was 1 of 8 from the field, but very active on the boards.
Well, again, it's not about necessarily scoring. She had some kickouts. She had some nice, you know, just strong rebounds. And maybe she kicked it out that led to the other kick out. It wasn't her kicking it for a 3. It's or we got a couple fouls when she did throw it to some cutters going down the lane. So it's just not about scoring all the time. And I think the more players can understand that, if I'm not scoring comes and goes. You can always play defense. You can always give effort. You can always rebound. There's things you can do to affect the team that people don't necessarily see unless you've come to the game and watched. And that's Tessa's line. She didn't shoot well, but she got 5 old boys. That may have caused us to get 10 points somewhere. I don't know. So again, you just have to find your niche and for that game. And then if you want to change it, practice. Get in the gym and work on whatever you want to do, practice it. And then show us you want to do it, you do it. I have no issue with that.